Ooh, Basso. That means reviews are on. Me Basso. Now, this was sent to me by Hi-Fi Go. Same people who sent me the Shanling M6 Pro. So when I got them at the same time, and I realized this is half the cost of that, I sort of like prepared my body for like, oh, I should do this one first. I should do this one last, actually, what I thought. And then I didn't, because now we're sitting here with this. So this is $400. Oh, Jesus God. Which makes it the exact same price as the M11pro, which is on the shelf back there. No, I'm sorry. Not the M11pro. I didn't recommend the M11pro because the M11pro had features, but it took away some of the features and it had a THX, but it's like, did it really matter? And it really didn't because it sounds so good. Well, here we are again. This is the DX160, and I know that because I'm glancing at the box because I can't, my brain can't absorb any more numbers and letters and any sort of combinations. There was that, what was that movie with Leslie Nielsen? It's a comedy, but it wasn't very popular. It wasn't a Naked Gun or anything, where he was talking with the other woman who was a spy, and she traded in her GTO for a BMW, and a VHS for the DVD. Like, they just kept doing numbers and letters, and that's what my brain does now. This is off currently, by the way, because I'm going to turn it on so that you can understand the full process. And I have it hooked up, by the way, to my X2 HRs, which live on my wall. And you know what? If you're not constantly reminded of why something's on your wall, you need to just take it the fuck off your wall. I'm sorry, you don't have a wall? What are you even doing here? Get on my level. What we're talking about? I'm having a little bit of like a nervous breakdown due to Corona enclampture here. I'm here. I live here now. We'll talk about this. Let me turn it on. All right, let me turn it on. It's a portable player. It's not hard to do. It's not hard. The only thing that actually is hard is hitting that fucking button. Now, it's in the plastic case that it came with. And we're going to discuss ergonomics. Because this is so close to being fucking fantabulous. But then ergonomics happen. And, well, actually, no. Then ergonomics don't happen. And you can't turn the screen on and off. I have not found... All right, we'll get to it. We're letting it load. It takes a minute. This is an Android-based player. And unlike the Shanling and the big Fios, it is running Android 8.1. The Play Store isn't actually on the desktop. Like, you have to, like, go to Chrome, then you got to go to Play Store in Chrome, hook it up to your Wi-Fi, and then you could search Play Store, and then it's like, you want to open this in the Play Store? And then the Play Store app will open. I'm just not inputting my information on this so that I don't have a problem when I sell it in the yard sale. Like most things get sold in the yard sale. If you don't know, if you support this channel via either Patreon or Subscribestar, you can win bids that you place on items that are just fucking so many. Do you understand how many things there are? Again, I'm losing my mind. I just finished Oblivion, by the way. Again, the Tom Cruise movie. We're going to get off track tonight because I feel like it. Because this sounds really good. $400, you're probably all here to know, well, Zia, should I get this or should I get the M11? And I'm going to be like, well, look. Tom Cruise made 3 really solid movies in a row. Oblivion, Jack Reacher 1, and Edge of Tomorrow. Jack Reacher 1 because Jack Reacher 2 was horseshit. But Jack Reacher, those are like the 3 best clusters of an actor doing a movie in a row that I think that ever existed. Oh, it's on. It also went to black screen. So... if I had to give the notable thing for this player, it has a 5-inch screen made by, hold on, I have to want the actual name, JDI, which means Japan Display Incorporated, which I didn't even know was a thing. And you can fucking tell. Firstly, let me go in here, let me go to Android, let me go to display. It's set to sleep sleep after 5 minutes of inactivity. The brightness is currently 17%. I think we can crank that way up if we really wanted to. Let's go to 60. Resolution, 1080p or 720. It's a 1080p 5-inch. Sleep after never. Wallpaper. Oh, we're not changing the wallpaper. It would be an Anime Girl wallpaper. You got one for now. What's the advanced tell me? Default screen size, screensaver. Okay, great. Switch out this. Let's close everything. That is the most screen per unit size that I've ever seen. Keeping in mind there is a plastic wrapper around this, it actually makes it seem like there's more. I was gonna say phone. It's not phone. Let's take it out of there because I don't particularly enjoy. Like, reason I have this on here is because when I'm using these players here in my house or out and about, you don't want to like drag them on your keyboard and screw them up. I mean, I kind of do because that's how you test them. But I put it on here because I was like, this is such a pretty fucking player that I really don't want to mess it up too bad. So there's your condom. I believe it says created in China, by the way, which is interesting because iBasso is one of those Chinese companies that's proud to be a Chinese company. It's not like one of those where it's made in China and, oh, that's just a made in China. No, this is made in China on purpose by them. On purpose. Close that. No recent tasks. Great. So the screen takes up most of the unit. If anything takes up less of the unit now, it's going to seem outdated and old because that looks fucking exquisite. We're currently on 50. We started the phone, by the way, or we started the DAP with 60% battery life. So we'll see how far it gets throughout this entire video. So here's your home screen. I haven't added anything. I haven't taken anything away. I want to give you the like, oh, I turned on my thing. I have installed a SD card. Look, everyone, it's just one of those slots. You pop it in, and then it's in, and you got to use your fingernail to pop it out, which I'm not going to do, obviously, because that would be just the worst. Top, USB-C for charging. Here's your power button, which I believe is located improperly. Just going to point that out. So top is a charge. Side is the micro SD. Top is the button. Side is the volume wheel, which we'll get to that. Then you have next track, play, pause, last track, or hold on, let me see which one it is. See, I can't tell because it's always going to be back and forth. And that might be back. Because the way it's labeled, play, pause is pointing that way, which would in my brain tell me that that should be next track. Although most players, that's next track because down is next. Pick something, people, please. There is a very odd shape to this, by the way. So the screen is flat. It's not like the Shanling where it's curved on both sides. The screen is flat, comes to a basically straight edge. Then it gets, slightly bulbous around the entire unit. I said bulbous. Oh, by the way, high-res audio sticker. And then this back is curved, more so than it was even on the Shanling. So it's flat and then just dips off. And this is glass for Bluetooth reasons. And probably it's got to be much cheaper to machine just the shell. Well, that seems like you're throwing away a lot more material than if you just did like a cup. I don't know. The problem here's your outputs, by the way. 4.4 balanced and 3.5, which says PO, LO, or SPDIF. So those are your three outputs and 3.5. And I do love a gold ring. Like, which one has it? The higher end? Did the FIO have it? The M15 had it? I know Sony does that on all their stuff. The problem I have with this unit is this volume, it's not bad out of the case. When you put it in the case, if you can see how thick this wall is, like they did this reinforcement here, so that when you get to it, it's like you have to dig your nail into to get it to rotate. It's also not the smoothest thing on planet Earth. I mean, I'm comparing to shit like the Shanling. This has... And this is more like a... This just feels like it's half the cost of this as far as that volume knob. That's the one thing that I was like, I could tell they saved a little bit of money on this. Also, when you do the volume, the standard Android volume slider comes up. Whereas the Shanling and other higher end players, when you do this, somewhere where your thumb can access it comes up, and therefore you could adjust the volume a little bit more easily. The other problem is, since this is a wheel and not a button, this one, that's the power button. That's on, off screen. That does a function. This is not on, off screen, no function. There's nothing here. It doesn't do anything. So that means you're holding it. Oh, I've got the song I want. I want to shut the screen off. You have to hit that button. There we go. Oh, you know what? I want to hear that other track. Let me, fuck. It is so... And this might just be me, all right? I got really... Like, my hands are not small. You'd think I have small, stubby hands. I have pretty big hands. That isn't what's dirty. Pretty big hands, and I can't manipulate my hands around this unit to the point where I can comfortably, in almost any... Like, this is uncomfortable. This is uncomfortable. You basically have to, if you want to turn the screen on, use your opposite hand. Which, if you're anything like me, you're trying to control your music in one hand and drive a super jet-powered jet ski through, like, a river because you're a super cool dude. Like, that's what I'm always doing. I'm always like, let me just change the track so I can jump this waterfall. And it makes it fucking impossible. So I don't hate the buttons, even within just 3. They're actually the buttons themselves are better in the case because they're raised here. And I can go, ooh, button, 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 hover over 3, and then I know exactly where I'm working. With them on the case itself, they're basically flush. Like, I could tell, if I was blindfolded and handed this, I've never seen this unit before in my life, and they're just like, all right, Zeos, sit there and tell us what you got. And I would be like, is this dented here? Is this ripple? This doesn't feel like buttons, and there's no nipple at all. And with them this flat, it's kind of hard to figure out what's going on. So that's one case in very few cases where the case is a case to keep the case because it makes it easier to use the buttons. But the case makes it harder to use the volume knob. Wow, control. That was going to be control, and I turned it to knob. So the volume knob, which doesn't turn on the screen. This doesn't turn on the screen. That doesn't turn on the screen. There's no controls on this side. You have to get your fucking hand to the top of it to do that. And it's the reason I did that one first. Because I could pick this one up. Did I turn you on? I didn't even mean to turn you on. You see, you do that. And it does that. And you play pause. And the buttons are on this side. I didn't mean to make this a shootout against the Shanling, but the Shanling decided to turn itself the fuck on. Oh my god, it's so nice to do that. I'm gonna shut the screen off. I'm gonna power the whole unit off. Go bed, baby, you're good. So as far as ergonomics go, if that power button were somewhere fucking else, it'd be great. In fact, if the charger, I don't mind it on top, but you have a ton of room here, guys. I wouldn't mind having my headphone plugged in here, and by the way, 4.4 balanced Pentacon. That, I just broke the thing off of this. Oh, it needs to screw in. That's why. My bad. There we go. 4.4 Pentacon and 3.5. I took these out for today because everyone knows while I'm jet skiing. Ever see Jet Moto for like the PlayStation 1? Basically, I'm doing that while listening to music. And these are the headphones I'm wearing, which makes it very difficult because I have to be like perfectly balanced. It also lacks a couple like interesting, hold on, let me see what I could edit in this. Because I actually didn't check this. So data saver, cast, hotspot location. See, it doesn't add. I was hoping, because this is the Android pull down. For those of you who don't know what Android looks like, because, well, there's people out there like that. You could adjust what's up here, the options. And I was hoping it would give me like high-low gain. Because there's high-low gain, but it's not accessibly easy. Like, not easily accessible. You have to go into setup, then you got to go down to audio settings, and then in here you have gain low, gain high, which I'm going to put it on high right now. Then you have the options for the 3.5mm interface to PO, LO, or SPDIF in here. Your digital filter, which again, I don't care, it's everything over 20,000 hertz. You do get volume limitation. That's actually the easiest way to find it is there. So I had it set earlier to 69 because I was using super efficient headphones, and if you scrolled up, you didn't want to go past that. And then you have the option to turn off volume wheel control on the side when the screen's off, which would be abysmal. Everything else is basic Android settings. Let's get out of this. Goodbye. So now, the main player has the secondary screen is APK Pure Calculator, in case you know. It's exactly what you wanted of your $400 DAP, is the ability to use your calculator real fast. Chrome, which is how you know, it's like, oh, you're not a completely locked out bullshit player. That's nice. Viper Hi-Fi, which has Chinese characters on it. I don't recommend. And then down here is a launcher for their Shandling player. Or you go to the main screen and they have a widget the size of the entire screen. That's your widget. You hit play on that. Took a second, but now it's playing. That sounds like ass. That's a terrible song. Hey, remember when that show was good too? Yeah, he had a hat when that show was good. I will say this, they have managed to very, very, very delicately adjust the volume. I don't know why every phone can't just make the pushes like smaller. Like you have to get precision volume and different plugins. Now I'm on high gain, and I should also talk about the status bar up here. We have the actual volume in a numbered form. So it says 70 or 69 or 71. The M15 didn't have that. I believe they added that now. We've got, it's showing one app running, which is the music app. It's showing headphones for being plugged in. We got 57% battery life with an image of the battery. And it's apparently 8:27 at night. Thank you. So you get a progress bar. I like the fact that you don't even need to be in the app to run the app is sort of nice. It's like, ooh, I don't even need to do anything. You turn it on, you can sleep the screen with your left hand, and then you could do all your controls through here. There is a slightest delay on commands. And I didn't even want to bring it up because it's so small. But as I've been using the player now today, specifically today, because I'm like, oh, I got to focus. I got to figure out what's great about this player, what's shit. And it's got like a quad core, was it Atom? What was the chipset this was using? Hold, please. It's got dual Cirrus Logic DACs. It's got an improved buffer. It's got a octa-core ARM CPU with 2 gigs of RAM. Octa means 8, like octopus, like hentai with the tentacles. So, I mean, it shouldn't be that, like, there's a full 3/4 of a second delay before pause and play unpauses and plays. Next. Nothing. Will it not? Hold on. Okay. Yeah, the music, like, you hit next track. Did I have gapless on or something? Because it's freaking it out. Because it literally goes, I want to hit next track. And then it comes on. Like, the music stops immediately when you hit the button. And then it takes a half a second. And then it's up and playing. Now, all this would be a terrible example of a player. But we got a couple things that are saving this unit. Number one, that fucking screen is gorgeous. Like, I'm pretty sure that's the prettiest screen on a DAP. Ever. Ever. Unlock. So you don't shut off. You also can't set that lock screen to sit there for a while. So it's sort of like you get it, it's on, you want it on, and it's on. If you don't want it on, you better unlock it. Let's go to the full app. Because that's another thing. The Mango player, which I don't know why it's called the Mango player, all right? I really like mango juice, but it never like clicks in my head. It was like, you know what? I want to listen to some music. I'm going to put on the Mango player. You can load Fubar. You can load all sorts of apps on this if you don't want to use this. Hell, you can load the FIO apps on it to play music. But I'm going to say this about Mango Player. Now that I've sat and used it and flipped through it, it's one of the more intuitive, more useful music players that I've ever come across. And I don't know if the Mango Player is a reason we're having delays between things. I should have put like Fubar on here, but again, I didn't want to sign into my account. These things take up like 2 days of my life and then they go away. And to strip all my credentials and everything off it is a pain in my ass. So, let's take a look at the Mango Player, because, I mean, I think you might be able to download this in the Play Store. I could look. Nah, we're just going to say it's on here. Because it just has to be partly because of the screen is so nice. But every bit of text looks perfect. And then when you go to, like, the menu up here, like you see all music, album, artists, and now playing. And then you have, it scrolls beautifully. You could grab the side. When you do it with like, there's how many tracks in here? It's 2,500 tracks, which is just all tracks. And it's just, oh, it's just going so well. Artists, I love when you change. The background picture is just a faded out black and white picture of that's someone playing the saxophone. That's a vinyl record. This one's harder to see. Then I think now playing is a microphone. And if you don't like those choices, you go here, navigation bar management. I shut off genre and all playlists because I don't really use playlists when I'm listening to music. It's basically throw it all on there and fucking shuffle. That's how I do. I'm not, very rarely will I take shuffle off and just put it in like an album or a artist and just play. Nah, shuffle. Weird Al and Beethoven and Run the Jewels and up and down and left to right. That's how I do music. I don't know. I very, very rarely want to actually hear a song. I just want to sort of have music on and wait for something to grab me. But I never play by genre, so I shut that off. And I never do playlists, so shut that off. So you can literally disable the tabs at the top of your player, which is fantastic. All music view sorting. How do you want it to be sorted when you open it up? Default is title. I hate that. I don't remember half this. I want to find music by the artist first, Doors, or The Doors, but I always take away the because the is a stupid fucking word. The Beatles, The Doors, that I have. So it's just Doors, Spanish Caravan. I don't look for Spanish Caravan under ass. That's not where that song should be because it's by The Doors. I don't know. I treat music differently than most people. Most people treat like a track as like this piece of art, and that is done by Rembrandt. The Mona Lisa was painted by, shit, was that Rembrandt? Picasso? No, not Picasso. Leonardo da Vinci? Was Da Vinci Mona Lisa? Please, I'm Italian. I should know this. I feel like it might be Da Vinci. So if I was looking up artwork, I wouldn't look up Mona Lisa by Da Vinci. I'd look up all Da Vinci's fucking works and then go through them alphabetically, which ones he did, and under M, Mona Lisa. This is just me, personally, screaming about things. Like I said, I'm going a little crazy, and I just need to... Look, I just need another review today. I'll give you... You're getting Zios in the most raw, losing his mind form. I was doing karate, like one of the crazy people from a Die Hard movie in my living room before. I was literally throwing my cup. I was trying to like drop my water cup and pick it with my other hand. And at that point, I realized I need to put the camera in my head because there's gold coming. Or unsubscribe notifications. It's great. So you could sort your music by title, album, artist, added, or folder. Added would be interesting if you started this player with nothing and then you just took the card out or plugged it in and uploaded things, slowly uploading things, and you'd always have it in order. And then you have album view and artist view. You can do artwork or thumbnail. So that's just a nice little feature. We're more reviewing the music player at this particular moment in time. Let's go here. So here's your navigation. You could either do it like we were just talking about, or up here, boom, internal storage or SD card, or there's a fucking search bar. Please enter keywords. And I had to click that twice, which is kind of annoying. Like if I click a text box, just give me the keyboard. I hate clicking a text box and it's like, well, you sure? You might want to press that again. Let's see if I have any Run the Jewels on here. I know RTJ4 is out. Run the... See, it's not searching until I hit. So let's just hit search. That was instantaneous. And it took that like 2 seconds to start. So it's super fast in one way and slow in another. Old one. All right, I can't play that because it'll get blocked. So here's our display. You've got the album art here. FLAC 16-bit 44, 343 kilobits per second. We get the time duration so far. Time remaining, or is that full length? That's the length of the track. I actually prefer kind of when it counts down. I prefer I'm a counting down sort of guy, and nothing here allows me to do that, which is a little bit unfortunate. Here is different information on the track. I mean, look how clean that screen is. Holy shit. It tells me exactly where it's stored in the card. Add to playlist, delete. So that's your button there. We have a shuffle on. You could choose the basic play structures. Now if we go, you can scroll that way to change tracks. Non-stop Brazil, Luis Bonfa. David Chesky, okay, that makes more sense. Sublime, ball and chain. By the way, I haven't worn these headphones in a while, and it's really refreshing because they're just so big and warm. These are just big old warm things. All right, here's a great part. Ready for this? I'm gonna hit the settings button. And the settings switches here are designed to look like gold switches. And the problem is there's no switches on this unit that would be an indication of what it is. Like if that was a Sony high-end player, they definitely have gold colored switches that turn on and off like that. So yeah, gapless. Let's shut gapless off, see if that fixes the thing. Oh, here's high-low gain again. So let me see if that affects it. Hold on, I'm not sure if that affects the, I set it to low. Let's go back to here. Audio settings. Oh yeah, it does. Well, that's nice. I didn't realize it did that. So from inside the app, you can go to settings and do high-low gain. That's nice. However, you have access to the Play Store. You decide to put foobar on here, or USB audio player, or any number. You put fucking Rune on here. Does Rune have a mobile app? People are trying to convince me to get Rune, and I literally don't give a shit. And I mean, someone had a 20-minute conversation in voice clips to explain to me why Rune is the greatest thing of all time. And I'm like, well, that's not great, but I don't do any of the things you're talking about. So you can control high-low gain here. If you use another player, you have to do it in the menu there. Choose your shuffle, equalizer, balance left and right, digital filter. And again, digital filters don't really matter to me. But let me see what equalizer looks like on this. Parametric equalizer on. Ooh, how do I make this go? Wow. You know, I didn't bend into this very much at all. We have an all-pass filter. Holy crap. What? Okay, I'm moving a dot. I'm seeing this dot. I've moved that dot. It tells me it's at 87 hertz with a 5 decibel gain and a Q factor of 7. Enter a value between 03. Okay, input is incorrect. I can't even enter it. Cancel. Can I scroll this? Do I have to do multiple filters? Like, what is happening? I have to turn this on. It's not actually bending the... There's 6 settings on top, and there's 6 filters. And I guess it just shows you the dots, but it's not actually displaying like make go, reset. And you know what? It's got a very good parametric equalizer. I don't personally play with it because if I want to change the way my headphones sound, I just grab another headphone off the giant fucking wall of headphones. But if you're working with one particular headphone you like, and maybe there's some little niggling thing that's like, you know what, I really hate how much the bass is lacking on this one particular pair of headphones I use all the time. Shit. That's actually, all right, so you have graphic equalizer or parametric equalizer. Those are your 2 choices. So there's classic, dance, rock, ACG, acoustic compensation of gain. I don't know, custom where you can I do custom? Oh yeah, look at that. Look, it looks like real sliders on a real mixer, even though that's wild. This is like the highest resolution player as far as like actual, how detailed can I get that? Perfect, it's exactly what I'm into. No, I'm gonna reset that. So you literally can choose either graphic or parametric equalizers. So that's for you crazy people out there, you know exactly what you want. System info scanning, sleep timer, and USB DAC. If you want to use this as a USB DAC, because most of these players, and even down to like the FIO BTR 3K, which is like 80 bucks or 100 bucks. I think it's 80 or 100 bucks. Even that little tiny thing, you can plug it in USB, which I took this out to show because never has a USB cable impressed me so much. It's got speed holes. It's got flexible speed. Actually, those are barely, you know what, I lied. I always like, oh, look at this strain relief. Yeah, no, not really. It's just got holes, you could see it. But look at this stupid fucking USB cable. That is gorgeous. That's thicker than my headphone cable right now. So, I mean, it comes with that. So I just wanted to point that out. So if you wanted to use it as a USB DAC, don't go investing in a Kimber cable they've got the USB-C cable that, you know, that's good enough. So yeah, you would go to USB DAC mode and you'd hit DAC on. This is another thing that I think should be in like the pull down. Like up here, like I feel like airplane mode, maybe not. Battery saver is nice though. You hit battery saver, puts it in the red mode. It's a standard Android battery saver mode where it shuts off animations, it dims the screen, it probably puts it to sleep much faster. I haven't played with it much, but I know my sister used to use that shit all the time. Airplane mode, okay. I mean, I guess if you're traveling a lot, that's an important thing. And auto rotate, not really. I mean, who the fuck's rotating their portable DAP? You would have to add that later. I would like to have seen this DAP mode on off there, which you just come here, hit it, switches modes, you plug it in, and it does its own thing. What I wanted to show you, because this is one of the cooler things I've seen, and it has nothing to do with audio and how this thing sounds. Sleep timer on. And then you get awesome rotatable knobs for hours and minutes. So you could set the sleep timer to 23 hours and 55 minutes. Shut down after 23 hours and 55 minutes. First of all, you're taking a hell of a nap. And considering this thing only has about 14 hours of battery life, which is honestly not bad considering this screen. And it has decent power, and it is actually running a little bit warm right now. I don't think they needed to go with a 24-hour timer, but it's so cool. Can I just have a cool moment, please? Again, I'm losing. This is like a relaxation thing. I get to yell and scream and point to cute waifus, and you guys get to watch me do it and hopefully support this channel via clicks and punches and arguments in the comments. Apparently, arguments in the comments help a channel out. I mean, I don't think you should be downvoting other people, but if you guys have like a fight over like best girl, that's better for me apparently. So yeah, I'm not going to put this on, but this is still like, I somehow want this to be on my regular phone for daily use. I just enjoy rotating, like it's so smooth. Zeus makes terrible reviews. Okay, getting out of that, we're out of the sleep timer. We're done talking about basically the unit. As far as the build, we're done talking about the app. Let's talk about how it sounds. If it plays. And there it goes, playing. So I guess, yeah, there's definitely a lag between plays. And I mean, you could even go on as far as to blame my SD card. Because some people will be like, oh, you need to get a high endurance SD card for that. Links to high endurance SD cards in the description because they actually did help my phone out. But on these players, I've never had a problem. I use the same cards in every one of them. And this one is just... Oh, I have to... Apparently I can switch tracks without hitting play. I'm going to play Mob Psycho. Next. I can't tell if it's the long intros or not. No, there's definitely just like, it's a noticeable pause between next track, playing, next track, playing. It would almost feel better as you hit next track and it sort of delayed its stop and then just transitioned because it just, that pause is, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I just described it to you. It's fine. If it doesn't bother you, that's fine. It's just not snappy. Like all the heavy players, the R5, R6, things that are like similar price ranges, linked in the description, don't have that issue. And they're also running highest Android. But this screen destroys them. Now, as far as actual power, oh, by the way, here's the volume bubble when you're in the player, instead of it bringing that. And then you can just do a full swipe. So that's another thing. You start using FooBar, you start using any of the other add-on players, you're going to lose a lot of these like touches. And I kind of like the fact that they don't give you like arrows. They treat you like you actually are going to figure this shit on your own. Because that just makes it look nice. You hit up and you scroll up as much as you want to scroll up with the music. 80 out of 100. 100 out of 100 on low gain. We're on low gain, right? Let's see. Oh yeah, I'm on low gain. Oh, high gain. So, I've tried a few headphones on this. Not an exorbitant amount. I don't run it through like 20 different headphones. I get like a pair of IMs that I know are pretty efficient, and I listen for noise floor because that was one of the things that people were saying with the shilling, and I can't hear anything. None of the IMs I tried with. I mean, I was trying to sit there, and the secret is when you're trying to listen for noise is to not play music, is to play silence. And that can be difficult unless you specifically either create a track that is silence and then just turns on all the electronics, or you just happen to know there's a track that's like a violin concerto, but then there would also have to be silence and not like microphone acoustics. So I didn't hear any noise floor in this on the most sensitive IMs I have. And these headphones, like the X2s, I don't think I count them as like hard to drive. But these, which I've been wearing this whole time, and oh my God, I'm so light now. Oh, it's like Piccolo when he takes off his weighted armor and then starts fighting on Namek. What? What? Yeah, these require a little bit of juice, and I didn't even need to be on high gain. So I think it's going to cover most people's requirements. Not everybody. Look, I try to do these reviews and I take people into mind. It's like, all right, this group of people is going to want this. The IM people are going to want to know this. And then there's those people who are not satisfied ever with anything. And, oh, Zeos, you can't power HE6s with this? It's a piece of shit. No one's bringing HE6s to the table with this. If you don't know what those are, I reviewed them. And before the DT880 600 ohm, they're probably the hardest to drive headphone that had ever existed. I believe those are more, but I mean, there could be a grounds for a fight. The sound on this is clean. I'd love to give you like more than that. Like Zeos, but you're about to have us spend $400. Well, I'm not about to have you spend nearly anything. But I have no negative itinerary items for the sound. It doesn't lack low end. There isn't like some sort of weird crunchiness to the highs. It hasn't run out of power. It just slowly chugs along, making all your headphones work. Which at the end of the day is all you really want from a portable player. It's why I can whip out this, which is the little FIO M3 Pro, and I have to look at it because I can't remember it's not the M6 Pro. Haha. At least this has a D in it. Oh wait, it's got the D in it. It's always D with the next and then a 160. Fuck. If this is enough to power your headphones, and it has the feature set you want, like no Bluetooth, then this is the only DAP you need. So as we move up into the ranks, you have to look at this and go, well, shit, I need that screen in my life. Zio says it's the smoothest screen he's ever seen. The previous smoothest screen I've ever seen was that Pioneer DAP that was basically a phone. That was like one of the first Android devices that was a music player. I bought it. I bought that straight up for $400 something. It's over there. And I barely use it anymore, and I probably should charge it. That's another thing. I really need to figure out a way to keep all the units I have on my shelf at like that perfect storage charge, because it's not 100 and it's not 25%. You got to keep it at like 61 or 70. Is there like anybody know like what the actual perfect for a lithium ion battery or lithium polymer battery? Like is there a number? Or is it vary per unit? I'm imagining it varies per unit. But I had this set up. Well, actually, I had this set up. This is a Donkomatic Joker remix, which is Gorillaz. I had this set up because I was just, when I'm learning to use a player, I basically start by learning to use it on just whatever comfortable headphones. I just concern myself with the unit itself. Then you get into sound. Then you start swapping headphones and IMs back and forth. Before the review. That's when the start happens. I did that yesterday, luckily. Slowly. Yeah. It's great. Do I take it over the M11? Because that's really all you're here to find out. Actually, you should ask, do I take it over the M11 or do I have it? like available right now? Like I can just pull it out like fucking magic. No, we'll just discuss. We'll just discuss. Because the only other player that I think about in like the $400 range, and I think it was cheaper than that when I first reviewed it, is the Hibby R5. You got the Hibby R5, you've got this, and you got the M11, not the Pro. Again, we don't discuss the Pro. The Pro was too much money for not enough features. It just took things away. The thing is, the Hibby R5's got a watt per channel, which is absurd. So if you have hard drive headphones, you're getting that. Granted, you need balanced for that to work. Most headphone amps that tell you that they are this power, if they have a balanced option, that's where that is. Or otherwise, it's like a third of that for single-ended, like I'm currently using. Which is why when I swapped from these to these, I didn't have to change the volume too much because balanced, getting more power, single-ended, not getting so much power. So it all worked out. Behind. Let's see, hold on. So that is next track. It has to be. Or just shuffling. It's just is it just murder shuffling? Oh, Romanian Wind. See, it's something I call murder shuffling, which is when it destroys the playlist. Like if you had a song play and then another song played and then another song played, a good shuffle should let you go back to that song from 2 songs ago by hitting back. Murder shuffle is literally randomization. It plays song A, song B, song C, then you go back and it's song F, then it's song ZX, then ZZ Top. Like there's no way to get back. It's just everywhere. Fubar has that option. It's called random. I hate it. Because if I'm playing a song, I'm like, you know what? That was a good song. What was that? Back. Gone. Fucking gone. I don't know what else to say about this, honestly. It's in that like perfect price bracket where it's definitely not a top of the line player. I mean, it might be iBasso's top of the line. I actually don't know. I didn't look into what their like lineup is, and that's kind of a good thing because if you get a flagship and it disappoints, you're like, oh fuck, this could have been better. But I'm just concerned about this being a $400 player with the nicest screen I've ever seen on a portable device. Let's put it out there like I want to. My phone doesn't have this nice a fucking screen. Granted, my phone's like 3 years old right now, but I kind of want to find a phone that has a JDI display in it. Does anybody have a clue? Also, these are the things they've added for this new version, and I just want to point out they've improved the buffer, everyone, so that it has a higher slew rate with wider bandwidth and a higher current output. That sounds like you just made the amp better. I don't know, I have to get specifically into a higher buffer. Also, the 3.5mm port, which I'm currently using, now supports microphone in line, which I guess you would use since you could use this, like you could put Skype on this if you wanted to, as long as you're on Wi-Fi. There's no SIM card. But also allows you control on the keyboard, like control like next track, last track, which okay. And then dual ports, and then Bluetooth 5 support, and a 3200 milliamp hour battery, with 13 hours of fucking playback, blah, 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 blah. Also, it comes in 4 different colors. This is obviously silver. It comes in black, blue, and red. And my only problem with that is that you're never going to see it because you're always going to be looking at that fucking screen. And all you get is this very slim edge that shows you what color you've purchased. It's the basic stuff. Bidirectional things, MQA online streaming. They basically all have this. They've all got the same shit. It's all the same shit. It's 2020. Everything's the same. Except for the things that are better. Like the Shanling. Yeah, I kind of buried this in the bottom of the pile because it does wonderful things. It sounds as good as a $400 player should. My only concern is the Hibby stuff. The Hibby stuff and the M11 has 2 SD card slots and this only has 1. So automatically you're looking at it going, well, I guess I don't need that big. I mean, here's another thing. You can get a 2 terabyte single SD card. They cost more than the unit, but you can. I liked my M11 because I'm a cheap bastard. And I put 2 400 gigs in there because they were $70 a piece, $80 a piece. And if I wanted to get one 800 gig, which I don't think exists, Does it exist? It would have been like 3 times that price. It would have been absurd. So I like having the double slots because there's always more. There's always more to fit. Up to you. Anyway, I want to thank Hi-Fi Guys for sending me this unit. They usually don't want these things back, and they end up in the yard sale. So I think I have to keep the Shandling, because the Shandling has like become a baby doll in the beautiful case and the leather and the peanut butter. And the I can turn it on and off with the button on the side and not... I literally don't know how you're supposed to do it. Like, I don't know where we're at. Oh, by the way, with the screen cranked, we're at 46% of the battery. We haven't even been playing it that much. So 13 hours, it'll come and go 13 hours real fast. The delay, you could hear the delay. You can hear it in the video. It's like, ready? I really want to hear this song now. It's just, So, pros. Ready for pros and cons? Because Zeus needs to wrap this shit up. Pros, best screen ever. Pros, build quality.